I gotta scooch down because I got a shorty over here.
Hey!
Hey friends.
Nicole, Kylie Bear, coming at ya with a
Q&A.
yes. So, the friends, thank you so much for all of your questions. We asked all the friends on Instagram and Facebook for questions so that we could film this Q&A for you guys. So we are going to go through some questions and answer away.
And you guys sent us a bunch, a ton of good ones.
We're gonna do our best to pick the ones that will benefit all the friends out there so that you can all get value from every question. So let's get to it.
But first, the hair check.
Every time. Any reflective surface. This one in the mirror with his hair. Okay. Hi, I love you guys. What exercise did you guys start with on your journey? And how do you know how many calories to eat in a day? What we did for exercise in the very beginning, Kyle was 375 and I was 275. So we could barely move. We could barely bend down to tie our shoes, get up the stairs. So the only thing we could physically do, and just barely, was walk. So we walked. We walked as much as we could every single day.
And in the beginning, like Nicole said, like we were so big, I could go maybe 5-10 minutes without my calves cramping up so bad we'd have to stop or take a rest, you know. So we just did what we could and our stamina and our bodies came around eventually.
We stopped every 2 to 5 minutes for each other because if he wasn't getting sore or needing a break, I was. And eventually our stamina built up and then we could incorporate more. But from the very beginning, for, you know, at least the first 50, 60 pounds, we walked.
Yep.
That was it. That was all we could do. And how do we know, as for how do we know how many calories or how many macros to eat? We actually don't track calories or macros because we find tracking and focusing on numbers really throws both of us off. So we have never focused on numbers throughout this entire journey. What we do is portion control. And we get a lot of questions, well, how do I know how many carbs to portion? How do I know how many fats to portion? It has been through trial and error, through reading the serving sizes on the backs of packages and going from there. And we do have a couple of videos that do show you some exact portioned meal plans of the things that we ate in the beginning, if that would help you get an idea of how much we ate of each thing. All right, you wanna do another question, my love?
Okay, so one of the friends asked, what do you guys do when you get off track? So in the beginning, because it was such a lifestyle change for us, it was difficult. Like, we found ourselves sometimes slipping back into old patterns. So for me, for example, I would measure out every morning to put in my oatmeal a tablespoon of peanut butter. I started to slide and get off track where my tablespoon became 2 and 3, and it was like a mound of peanut butter on the tablespoon. So how I got back on track is I did an audit on myself, called myself on it. I also talked it out with Nicole, which is good to have a friend or a partner or a wife that has the same glasses as you so that you can bounce stuff off of.
Better glasses than him.
So anyways, when we get off track, first thing to do is admit your mistake. Admit that you're kind of sliding, slipping. Talk it out with someone.
Don't beat yourself up.
Yeah, don't beat yourself up about it. And don't try to make up for mistakes.
Yeah, good point. What we tried to do was make up for it in terms of like almost like a punishment. So we would take away all food, or we wouldn't allow ourselves treats, or we would make ourselves do more exercise. So we found that does not help. Getting right back on your normal plan as soon as you do what Kyle said, admit that you've made a mistake or you've had a slip up, and then you don't beat yourself up. You go, it's okay. Tell yourself, it's okay, and you get right back on the plan that you set out for yourself, there's nothing to feel bad about. There's nothing to beat yourself up about. It is all part of the journey. Yeah. Sorry to interrupt.
We're human. You guys are human. We're all human. Nicole's still, people are checking on that. But I've gotten lazy at times, and lazy mentally too, like with the portion sizes. I start to, you know, lie to myself or get lackadaisical in workouts, and then we call each other, or I call myself on it and say, hey, you got more to give, or you can do better, and work on the issues of why you're doing it too, not just, you know, beat yourself up and go, I'm a bad person because I like food. Look at all the reasons around why you're overeating or why you're starting to slip up, and back to strict measuring, and then back on track.
And just know that falling off track is part of the track. It's normal to fail. In order to succeed, you have to fail first. Because if you didn't fail, you wouldn't be doing this journey in the first place, because you'd be perfect.
It's how we learn.
It's how we learn. I want to know how to get over the fear of gaining your weight back, because I have that problem sometimes when I see old pictures of myself when I was overweight, and I don't want to go back to my old habits. So that is actually something Kyle and I both experienced, and even sometimes now we have the fear of gaining our weight back. For example, I was sick a little bit ago and I had soup because I wasn't feeling good, and I immediately think as soon as I eat the soup that that's gonna make me gain 300 pounds back because I didn't eat on my normal plan.
So we're still dealing on that old programming or wiring in our brains, because we were big for so long, most of our lives, so we still think like that, and we're still back there sometimes. Like, we just did a video on how to get through the holidays, but it relates to this question. I think that if I indulge on Christmas in some treats, that I will, you know, go back to my former weight as well. So it's about consciously choosing what you're gonna eat in the moment, and it's appropriate for us to have a treat on a birthday or Christmas, or
if you're not feeling well, have soup or crackers.
Yeah, and when you realize like 95% of our life is working out, portion control, and eating clean, you don't have anything to worry about. And yeah.
The other thing that we always say is, okay, worst case scenario is you gain a little bit back. We know how to lose it. We lost 130 pounds each. So when you put it that way, it makes it sound easy. Like, you lost 130 pounds. So if you gain 2 pounds, you know how to lose them. But the thing really is knowing that that's your old self, and you know how you felt in the old self, and we just think about how we felt then, and we know we don't want to go back, and we know that by continuing on, that we're treating ourselves with the proper love and respect that we deserve. So it's just a working through it when you have those thoughts, and just know that that's normal, and everyone, I think, that's lost a lot of weight experiences it, and you just got to keep bringing yourself back to, this is where I am now.
This person says, I'm a big believer of self-esteem and body positivity at any size. What are your thoughts on that health at any size movement? Me and Nicole can only speak for ourselves, and I know at almost 400 pounds, I was not healthy. I was not happy. I could not exercise. I had a lot of depression that came along with that. So I can only speak for me. We can't speak for other people. I know for me, I was way too overweight to feel good and be healthy and positive and happy. It wasn't gonna happen at that weight for me.
And the same with me. I knew I wasn't healthy. I had a ton of medical issues. And while I do agree, I think it's great to feel good and confident about yourself where you are. And we never did, but we think that's a great movement. However, we can only speak for ourselves in saying that we were not healthy then. But having confidence in who you are, no matter what weight you're at, no matter what size you are, we think that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, see, that's the key. You can't, at any stage you're at any body size you're at, you can't, like, beating yourself up about that is not going to help you either. So we take that approach, like, yes, you have to love yourself, but only you know your body. So if you're happy and you're healthy, that's great for you. Then you do your thing, you know, but we just know that we weren't happy or healthy at the size that we were at.
Exactly. Okay, I'd like to know about your cheat days, how often you have them, and if they affect your weight loss at all negatively or positively. So our cheat days, we generally have them once a week, unless we're trying to lean out, and then we'll go 2 to 4 weeks without one. What we do is we eat clean 6 days a week, and on the 7th day, usually a Saturday, we have treats. What we do is we allow ourselves to eat as much as we want until we're satisfied, and whatever we want. And we have been able to do this while leaning out and while building muscle. And by leaning out, we mean dropping some body fat. So basically we can lose weight and gain muscle with a cheat day, but we work hard to do that. So we do our fasted cardio 6 days a week, and we weight train 4 days a week. And we do not go off of our plan. We eat clean 6 days a week in order to have that cheat day and still drop body fat if we want to.
Like, for us, the cheat day doesn't ever make or break us. No. And if it did, we wouldn't be having them. And like, we just use kind of common sense. Like, around Christmas, we know there's going to be Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, New Year's Eve, where there'll be like a lot of treats close together, so we plan accordingly. So this week we're gonna go an extra few days without treats so that Christmas Eve and Christmas we can indulge a bit more.
Exactly. And
yeah, you do, about the weight gain, you will be, like, for us, we're bloated from the sodium, and we will be holding a lot more water the next day, and we'll probably gain 2 to 4 pounds.
But we don't weigh ourselves after cheat day because we know that it's cheat day weight, meaning it's water weight from the excess sodium and sugar that we've taken in that our body is not used to.
And like Nicole said, if like the rest of the week we're eating clean and working out every day, which we do all the time, that weight comes off, so we don't need to obsess and worry about that weight gain on that one day.
And it typically isn't real weight, like it's just water weight, and our bellies literally go back to being as flat as we can get them within a day. How old are you? How old were you when you started your journey? So currently I'm 46. Currently I'm 36.
And I'm 29.
80. Yeah.
No, I'm 38, Nicole's 36.
Yeah.
Numbers for us, if you haven't noticed, don't really matter that much. Like, and not in a rude way, but like, we don't like dates and anniversaries, numbers, birthdays, years. We forget how old our dog is. Like,
what his birthday is.
We don't do well with numbers, not just in calorie counting, but in life. Like life. We're not number people. We're wired more like entertainment, artsy type brains. We're not wired in the math numbers brain, so we never focus on numbers.
But I think, so I'm 36, so I was about 28, but we're not good at math and we're not good at numbers. So it was around there.
We've been on this weight loss journey about
7 years.
7 years. So.
It took us 2 years to lose the weight,
yeah,
and we've kept it off for 5. So this is our 7th year in our weight loss journey. All right, want to do the honest? Mm-hmm.
All right. What's your favorite traditional Christmas dish that you can't pass up? Mine would be, my grandma's passed away now, but it would be the sugar cookies in the shapes of the Christmas trees and the snowmen with the icing on top.
Oh, those would be good.
Yeah.
Mine is panettone. I'm Italian, and every year my nonna always had a panettone there. It's like an Italian sweet bread, I guess.
It's like if you've ever left bread out on the counter for like weeks and weeks and months, and it's like really stale and there's no flavor, and you need like a buzzsaw to cut through it. No. That's what panettone is.
No, don't listen to him. Don't listen to Hairman. No, it's one of the things that I like to get every single year, and I got a chocolate chip one this year. Yeah. Okay. How do you eat smaller portions and not be hungry? We actually get this one a lot. So in the beginning, when Kyle and I first started portioning our food, we were hungry, but we had to realize that when you're losing weight, you're in a calorie deficit. Even though we weren't tracking our calories, portioning our food, we were eating way less. So it is an adjustment. And the other thing is, you don't want to be like starving to the point where you can't like think or function, but it's normal to be hungry when you're losing weight, and you actually want to be a little hungry. It means that your metabolism is working, and that you're in the deficit, and that you're burning. And we have done a couple videos actually on like diet hacks and how to make it through the bridge to making it to your next meal, and like snacks and other things that you can use. Like we use like sometimes a diet pop, or sometimes some flavored gum, or the Jello, the fat-free Cool Whip and Jello. So and gum is actually a good one, because the cool thing about gum is, I read this somewhere once, when you chew gum, your body thinks it's eating because you're going through the chewing process. So sometimes I found that actually helps me curb hunger. If I have to go another hour or so before my next meal, I'll chew a piece of gum, and I find that really helps. Trust the process, because if you're really, really overweight like we were, you have stretched your stomach like incredibly, and it will shrink back when it gets used to eating smaller portions, and you won't be as hungry as in the beginning. So you just got to kind of make it through those first like 3 weeks, and then your body's already like, okay, let's go. I'm ready to go on this plan. Yeah, exactly. I struggle with just getting started. Where do you find the motivation to start and stay started? Love, from one of the friends. Okay, so motivation for us, like I said, Kyle was almost 400 pounds. I was almost 300 pounds. I had sleep apnea really bad. I needed the machine. I was stopping breathing like 7 times a night, and like 84 times partially. And Kyle had type 2 diabetes. We knew, and like we could barely function. We could barely get dressed, put our shoes on, get up from sitting down. And we knew if we didn't do something, we were gonna develop even more serious medical issues or worse. Yeah, like our motivations change, and yours will too, as you go through the stages of weight loss and you watch your body change. So in the beginning, our main motivation was being alive. And there for each other. Yeah. It really helped knowing, like, if I kept doing that to myself, I would be leaving Kyle without a partner. Yeah. And so, Hank without a mom. Hank's the dog. First, it was like, we want to be alive. Then it's like, you know what? I'm now, like, I've cleared up. I've gotten rid of my type 2 diabetes. And the sleep apnea. Nicole doesn't need the machine anymore. Gotten rid of a bunch of other medical issues, like, you know, tons of stuff. But then we're like, we don't just want to get rid of that. We want to feel good now. And then, you know, we started to work out and build muscle, and now we started the YouTube, and we want to grow our business now. And so your motivations will change. But in the beginning for us, it was, you know, like the Bee Gees, staying alive. Yeah, basically what I learned to keep myself motivated is what was something really important to me. Because at the time, I wasn't important to myself. I didn't really like myself. So I used Kyle, like, I wanted to be a strong person for Kyle. I wanted to be there for him. I wanted him to have a partner, a support. I wanted to be like a role model. So I used that to motivate myself to change, you know? And then, so together we did it. And even if you have to look to outside motivators in the beginning, eventually you'll end up doing it for you, and you'll want to do it. Like now when I see my body changing in the mirror all the time, or that I get to order smaller clothes, it's like, wow, I want to see how much better I can look or how much more muscle I can grow. Like Kyle said, the motivators change, and use anything. If you have children, use them as your motivator. I use Hank sometimes. Use anything you've got to get yourself started, and then you'll eventually want to do it for you.
Yeah, we have Hank is our little furry dog son, and he's a Boston Terrier, so he does not let you sit around all day. He is on you to feed him, take him for walks, all that kind of stuff.
We'll do one more and then we'll do a bonus for this one friend here that's asked a question. I'm struggling to get past this plateau I've had for 6 months. Holidays haven't helped with all the food, but need advice and encouragement on how to get this plateau to move.
So, the one thing that me and Nicole have learned is that our bodies, although amazing and they can recover from many things, like our brains, they are very stubborn.
Yes.
They do not like to change from where they're at. Wherever you're at right now, they want to stay right there. Literally and like physically and mentally, they want to stay wherever you are. So we have another thing that's very normal in the weight loss journey is plateaus. You will hit walls to where you think your scale's broken. You will go check the batteries. You'll replace the batteries. You'll go get a new scale. You'll go crazy, and we want to let you know that plateaus are completely normal. But we have figured out how to break through them. Sometimes you're over-exercising and your body is tired, or you're under-eating and your body is starving. Your body's gonna freak out and not change because it needs more food. It's like, I'm not getting enough food. I'm gonna hold on to all the body fat that I can because it thinks it's gonna starve. Yeah,
it's going into survival mode.
Yeah. So you might need to switch up your food or a little. That's why originally we did cheat meals and then cheat day, because it takes like more wood and puts it on your fire of your metabolism and gets it revving again.
Yeah, it like kick starts it back up again. One thing that we always check and always checked when we hit a plateau is, were we drinking all our water? Were we eating regular meals spaced every 2 to 4 hours apart throughout the day? Because if you're skipping meals, if you're dehydrated, if you're over or under eating or over or under exercising, your body is going to stay stuck. So yes, changing up your food, adding a little more or a little less, changing the actual types of food. Sometimes your body gets used to that. Like, we eat very similar every day, so we'll just change it up every once in a while so that our body will actually move from that. We'll notice ourselves losing a few percent of body fat just from changing the actual food.
If you do the same gym routine or same workout routine all the time, you might need to switch that up. Like, you might need to go heavier weights, you might need to go lighter, you might need to do more cardio. You might, like, some tough love is you might not be working out hard enough.
Yeah, you might have to up the intensity. So pick one thing to try.
Yeah, then you'll know if that works or not. Yeah, don't do like we did in the beginning and do 1,000 different things, because then you have no idea what worked.
Exactly. So choose one thing to start with, see if it helps, and remember, we learned this, that it takes at least 2 weeks for your body to start recognizing that change and for your body to start getting results once you've made that change. So if you change something and expect it to work the next day, it's not going to. So give yourself at least 2 to 3 weeks to see if it's working before you try something else.
Another thing is, if you have a ton of weight to lose, like we had both over 100 plus pounds to lose, in the beginning it came off crazy fast, and we didn't even change that much in the beginning, just portion size, a little bit of walking. There were weeks I lost like 8 pounds, 10 pounds in a week, and I'm like, this is gonna happen every week for years, and I'm just gonna, that weight loss is gonna happen every single week, 8 pounds a week. It's not like that.
No.
And when you're bigger and when you're first starting, it's gonna drop. You're gonna drop the weight fast. Then it's normal. It's gonna be very hard to drop even 1 pound in a week when you're getting closer and closer to your goal weight.
Yeah, you just have to basically keep trying things, give them enough time to see if they'll work, and then try something else again. So,
bonus.
We're gonna do the bonus. But before we do the bonus, if you wanna be cool like us and get Fight Through It hoodies, we also have long sleeve shirts and some tanks and some t-shirts. If you wanna be cool, if you wanna fight through it with us, check out the link down below so that you can get it and join the Fight Through It team. Got it?
And
good.
We need these now. It's -20 today in Canada.
And also the friends, if you are struggling and you would like to know exactly how we lost our first 50 pounds, we do have a complete weight loss guide called the First 50. We also have one called the Next 50.
Yeah, they got meal plans and exercise plans, all the recipes we invented through trial and error to make it to the next meal with snacks and to have tasty food and like what you're eating.
Yeah, and they're exactly what we ate and did to lose our first and our next 50 pounds. So check out the link down below for those if you would like to get yourselves copies of those ebooks. Now, bonus! So, the bonus is a question from one of our friends. Where did you get those boots, hot mama?
So they're commenting on one of our, if you're not following us on Instagram, you have to see these boots.
Well, underneath the picture on Instagram, the friends, that all of you asked your questions under, I got these fancy boots on.
I'll be nice to the friends. We'll put the picture in here.
Aw, look at that. We're so nice.
Well, it is a bonus round, right?
Yeah, that's true. So the boots came from Marshall's a couple of years ago. But Marshall's, they have like the best boots. And for a decent price.
Yeah, you get good deals on your boots.
Yep.
You get a lot of comments on these boots.
You know, it's funny, I get tons of comments on the boots and I'm always like, oh, they're probably tired of seeing these same boots in all my pictures, but I love those boots. What can I say?
Hey, none of the friends asked about my dad's shoes. What's up with that?
Only you. You're the only one in the universe that likes your dad's shoes. Maybe Hank.
My son likes them.
All right. Thank you guys so much for participating and asking all those questions. They are going to help a lot of friends.
This was fun, kind of an end of the year wrap up Q&A.
Yeah.
And Kyle's on camera now.
There you go.
For those friends asking why isn't Kyle on camera more?
Because they were all sad, so
here it is.
There you go. You can be happy now. Mama, my Collie bear. So, thank you guys so much. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this. Stay tuned for next time, baby. Let's do the fancy dance.
Okay.
Come on, do it. Bye guys, thanks for watching. Come on, you're on camera, you gotta do this too.
How do you do it?
You go, no, like this. Yes, that's better.
Nailed it.